Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Holly. I do mummy and lifestyle videos, and in today's video we are doing my 26-week pregnancy update for my 4th pregnancy. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys everything that's happened pregnancy related over this last week. I'm going to talk a bit about baby's development at 26 weeks. I'm going to talk about my physical symptoms, what's been going on mental health wise and how I felt emotionally during this last week, and then we will finish with a belly shot at the end. So first things first, and we'll talk a little bit about baby's development and how baby is this week. So I have to admit, this is probably one of the most exciting weeks from what I've read that's really kind of got my interest and stuff, is the fact that baby's eyes have now opened. So they have been fused shut for quite a long time to develop, I think it's the retina that is what they use to focus and stuff. So their eyes have now opened from the beginning of 26 weeks, which is just really exciting, especially apparently now even more so they will be responsive to light. I haven't actually really tested that yet, but apparently that is the case, and that they will kick up a storm and probably be trying to tell you to like get that light out of their eyes and stuff. So they will be more responsive if you do shine a torch or something onto your belly. But I just think it makes it feel more real to imagine a baby that's got its eyes open. So it kind of is hitting home that we're really getting to the home stretch now, but at the same time it's actually making me really excited to finally get to meet this baby soon, and the reality is really starting to kick in. The actual colour of the eyes hasn't yet developed, but it will do over the next couple of months, so we still don't know. You wouldn't necessarily be able to tell what colour baby's eyes are. I'm not really sure what happens with premature babies, what colour eyes they would have, but yeah, over the next couple of months they should be developing pigment in their eyes, so that then by the time they're born they will have a colour of eye. But then sometimes after they've been born, obviously that can still change, so we will just see. All my kids have had blue eyes from birth and have still got blue eyes now, so I'm pretty sure this is going to have blue eyes. It would shock me if this baby did not have blue eyes, I'm not gonna lie. So the brain is also really developing now as well, so as much as they were really getting on with developing their hearing recently, now they are at a point when they hear noises and stuff that they will actually respond. So not only are they hearing them noises, but they have the cognitive function to then respond to when they're hearing noises and stuff. So that's really interesting, and you know, they're really starting to progress and get ready for giving birth and coming out into the real world, so that's really exciting. But that's pretty much everything for baby's development this week, so now we'll quickly talk about my physical symptoms. Physical symptom wise, very similar to last week. I'm really struggling with the restless legs, but I'm just trying to manage it the best I can with the cream like stuff that I told you about it last week, so you can go and watch that if you want to. I'll link it above. But yeah, the stuff that I was putting on my leg, I'm still trying to like ration that because I have to order it online, but I'm using that and it seems to be helping that when I do get my restless legs that I can then still sleep. So it's just an irritating symptom that seems to be persisting at the minute. I have been super tired this last week as well. I have had a lot of naps, and it just seems like the pregnancy and the physical demands of pregnancy are really starting to take their toll, and I am just really exhausted all the time. And I guess it's kind of like with this thing called the spoon theory, which you can look up and maybe we'll insert a picture, but it's basically like when you have disabilities or illnesses, there's this spoon theory, and you have only so many spoons a day, and each task of what you do during the day takes up so many spoons, and then obviously you run out, and it kind of feels like that. I have other like health issues as well, so I kind of relate to that from that aspect, but especially with pregnancy it feels like I have so limited amount of spoons, and I'm having to pick very wisely what I spend my energy on, because I become tired really easily and then need naps and just to rest and just give my body a break and just let it keep cooking this baby and stuff. So yeah, it's just trying to really take it easy at the minute. For some reason I do seem to be having nausea as well, and I'm not really sure. Yeah, there's nothing really that's triggering it, and it doesn't actually put me off eating, thankfully, so I'm still eating plenty. It's just every now and again I seem to have very, very mild nausea, but I've just noticed that it does seem to be coming back, and I'm not really sure why. It's just obviously one of them wonderful parts of pregnancy that I'm having to deal with, but it's not really affecting my life so much. It's just kind of an irritating thing and just a discomfort thing more than anything, but it's not an issue, so I'm not that bothered. But obviously I can't wait until the day when my body just feels back to normal. As much as I'm going to miss being pregnant, I do kind of just want to feel normal again. I have been having a lot of issues with scar pain as well, and we did have a really bad incident. Nothing wrong with me, there was nothing wrong, but I was concerned, and so we kind of waited over the weekend and then spoke with the midwife on the Monday, because I kind of had these scar issues in my last pregnancy, and I had a feeling it was normal and just growth and tugging. But then I had the midwife come out to check, and she did a Doppler check, but she did actually insist that it was quite important that I got a CTG, and that every time I had scar issues that I had a CTG. And her reasoning was that obviously a Doppler is just listening in for 1 minute, and it only really guarantees that the baby is fine and well in that moment, whereas a CTG is more thorough and sees a pattern, and it gives a much better indication of baby's well-being long term. And especially with the fact that my scar did come apart in my last pregnancy, she really felt it was appropriate to check. So we arranged that I would go to have an appointment later on that day in the evening in the labour ward, when we actually had babysitters and could go with just me and Fabian, which was fine. And stupidly we were courteous enough to phone them up and say, oh, by the way, we're just on our way, we're running a few minutes behind, but you know, we'll be there soon. And then they decided to tell us, oh, we don't need to see you now, we decided earlier on in the day that we didn't need to see you. So my dad had driven 40 minutes to come babysit our children so that we could go and be checked at hospital. I just completely went downhill mentally. There was miscommunications, and long story short, because I don't want to make this a long video, I'm running out of daylight and energy, to be honest, but long story short, they refused to check baby. And despite the fact that that midwife had planted that seed and said, you know, it's really important that you get this checked, at the hospital both the midwife and the doctor refused and said because I didn't have any pain there and then, I didn't need to go and get checked. And they couldn't understand that by that point it was affecting my mental health, because I'd spent 4 hours during the day thinking to myself, oh, it's okay, I can relax because I know I'm going to be checked. And so when I was told then I couldn't be checked, I just mentally couldn't comprehend that, and my mental health went downhill. So we actually ended up spending several hours back and forth phoning different hospitals. This was all issues with my local hospital, which is not really a surprise, hence why we're not delivering at this hospital. And then we ended up driving throughout the night and going to get checked. We drove to the hospital that we're actually delivering at. It was a 2-hour drive just for a half-hour CTG to give me that peace of mind, to make sure that I was checked by a consultant, by a doctor that knew what they were checking for, to make sure that baby was safe, because by that point we really felt I mentally needed the reassurance, but also I was still concerned about my scar. And then driving back home during the night while my dad then pretty much crashed out and fell asleep on our sofa, and while the kids were obviously in bed and he was looking after them and stuff. So yeah, we ended up driving back and we got home at about 4:30 in the morning, and we have made complaints, let's just say that. We have made formal complaints, and the matron sister of the ward is not very happy with the midwife or the doctor, so words have been spoken. And I do know that it has been put on my notes now that even if I don't meet the criteria of a physically why I need to be seen. They will respect that if I need to be seen for a mental health reason, that they will see me. So I've really lost my trust in them as a hospital, that in an emergency I don't know how much they would take me seriously, which really concerns me. Although I'm just keeping my fingers crossed that I'm not going to need to use them at all. We never actually phone this local hospital for advice anymore because they're usually quite rude. So we always phone the one that's far away anyway, even if we have just queries during the night. And then if it was an emergency, we would go to the local hospital. But fingers crossed we won't need to go to this local hospital ever again and we don't have to deal with them. So yeah, that's just one of the things that has happened in this last week, and I still am having the scar pain, but I have been reassured that it is normal, and I do have an appointment in 2 weeks to see my consultant, so I will get her to double check again. It's just making me very nervous because of what happened in my past pregnancy, but I'll talk more about kind of the mental health aspect of it in a minute. But that, yeah, that's just a physical niggle that's been playing on my mind a little bit this last week. So I think now it makes sense to move on and talk a little bit about my mental health. And like I say, it just seems I've been very anxious in this last week, and a lot of it has to do with my scar and just the worry because my scar did come apart in my last pregnancy. It's just making me nervous of every small little twinge, more than I was probably even in my last pregnancy, because in my last pregnancy I thought it was normal to have the stretching and stuff, but then obviously it turned out not to be such a good situation in the end. And I'm just very nervous, and I'm really questioning and wondering. I just really want to know when this baby's coming out, and I just kind of, because it's a big baby so far, I really want to kind of get it out sooner rather than later in a way. And I'm really excited in a way and desperate to get this baby out. But I've also been really starting to struggle with feeling like really sad that this pregnancy is soon going to be over. Like, it could be in like 10 weeks and this pregnancy will be over and I might never do this again. And I feel like I've not been able to enjoy this pregnancy because I've just struggled so much with bonding with baby and stuff, and just always being on the go and not allowing myself to relax. And I just really would like, I want to find a way to really make the most of the last few months of this pregnancy. So especially over the next few, well, weeks and months, I just really want to enjoy and not be distracted by external things like social media and stuff, and just I really want to make the most, because I know I'm going to regret it later in life that I have not paid as much attention to this pregnancy. In a sense, I've just kind of got on with life and not really thought about it a lot of the times, and I just really want to bond with this baby and mentally start preparing myself. I don't want to get postnatal depression again, so I really want to just get into a place where mentally I know by the time this baby is coming, I'm mentally prepared and I'm ready to meet this baby. So I'm trying to do a lot of visualizations, and like it does really help knowing that like its eyes are open, and it just helps me visualize it more. So I'm just, yeah, I'm really trying to prepare myself for it in a few months' time and really make the most of every moment. I did actually find, when I was sorting through my phone, that I found the growth chart from when our rainbow baby Leilani, our last pregnancy, I found her growth chart, and she had growth restrictions which were unexplained. We never had answers, and it's made me quite nervous because I've seen that she was on the 50th percentile at 24 weeks, and even by 28 weeks she then dropped to the 10th. And then there's another measurement where she's on the 10th again, and then she completely drops off the scale in terms of growth. And so I'm really starting to worry about this scan that's coming in a couple of weeks. I'm just nervous in case this baby, because at the moment this baby's been growing fine, but in some ways so was Lani at this point, and so that makes me a little bit nervous in case anything's going to tail off or what's going to happen. Obviously I like the fact that I would possibly get to meet the baby sooner because I'm really eager to meet the baby, but I more than anything just want this baby to be healthy. I'm really nervous about loss at the minute because it has been baby loss awareness week and there's just been a lot of emphasis on loss, and especially when I did the video that I posted a few days ago that was sharing my baby loss story, which I will link above if you would like to check that out. But it was really emotional for me and it really brought back up a lot of things, which I think has made me even more nervous, which has really played on a lot of my anxieties. But I think that's about everything in terms of my mental health in this past week, and I think the best thing we can do now is take a little look at my bump and finish this video so then I can have a lie down, a chill, have a coffee, and yeah, just relax for the rest of the day. Okay, so this is from the front. It's quite a baggy top, but then this is from the right hand side, and then this is from my left hand side, and then here it is like that. And from the front, it's like getting really huge now. I actually looked down in the bath last night and I thought, wow, like where has that come from? It seems to have just really like popped out of nowhere, or maybe, I don't know, I just didn't seem to have noticed it until last night in the bath, and then I was like, wow, that's like huge, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't before. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you think, whether you think I've popped or if you think I've just obviously not been paying attention to my bump at all and somehow it was already like this and I just didn't notice. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. It lets me know that you enjoy these videos and it lets me know what sort of content to put out in the future. If you have any suggestions of any videos you'd like to see, please always make sure you comment down below, or just comment down below and say hi. I'd like to get to know you guys, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and support my channel. It really means the world to me. I appreciate every single one of you and I love getting to know you guys, and especially hearing all your pregnancy journeys and your experiences. I really love getting to share this experience with you guys. So thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. It really has been just a mood boost for me, especially recently. So thank you, and I guess I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.